Good morning. I am pleased to welcome you to this video. If the lesson is useful to you, you can subscribe the channel. Yogarajah Atchuthan, stages of a lesson and roles of a teacher. English language teaching methodology. Outline. Stages of a lesson. Introduction, presentation, practice, application, and evaluation. Roles and responsibilities of a successful teacher. Source of expertise, source of advice, management roles, and facilitator of learning. Stages of a lesson. Some scholars mention 5 main stages for a lesson plan. They are setting objectives, warm-up, presentation, practice, and assessment. Some other scholars define them as introduction, presentation, practice, application, and evaluation. Though they are slightly different in certain aspects, the principal themes of the stages remain same. At the introduction stage, teachers set lesson objectives and then do warm-up activities related to their particular lesson. At the stage of presentation, new topics are introduced to the learners. At the practice stage, students are provided opportunities to try out the language items introduced at the presentation stage. Practice is divided into 2. They are guided practice and free practice. Guided practice includes activities such as drills and matching exercises, while free practice includes role play and discussion, etc. In both tabs, the feedback is given by the teacher after an evaluation. Application stage refers to the application of the newly gained information in the real life situations. Stages of a lesson continue. At the application stage, students need to use higher level critical thinking skills as they need to generate ideas on their own. This is a challenging stage for students and teachers. Therefore, the teachers have to pay careful attention to design activities for the students at this stage. At the evaluation stage, evaluation is carried out both by the teacher and the students. While students self-evaluate their learning, teachers use the evaluation to determine the effectiveness of their own teaching strategies in the classroom. The information gained through the constructive feedbacks help the teachers to replan their lessons effectively next time. Roles and responsibilities of a successful teacher. The roles and the responsibilities of a teacher have been categorized under 4 topics. They are source of expertise, source of advice, management roles, and facilitator of learning. Successful teaching depends on the performance of above roles appropriately by the teacher. Apart from the subject knowledge, a teacher should be expert in certain other aspects, which shape him or her as an effective teacher in the classroom. According to Sharma, there are 7 types of knowledge which have to be acquired by a teacher. They are content knowledge, general pedagogical knowledge, curriculum knowledge, pedagogical contents knowledge, knowledge of learners, knowledge of educational context, and learning of educational aims, purposes, and values. Apart from the subject knowledge, a teacher should be expert in certain other aspects. Content knowledge includes the facts, concepts, theories, and principles which have to be delivered for learning in the class. General pedagogical knowledge refers to the broad principles and strategies used for the classroom management and organization. Curriculum knowledge provides insights to apply theoretical principles for planning, implementing, and evaluating the curriculum. Pedagogical contents knowledge is the combination of content and pedagogy, which is regarded as a professional's understanding. Knowledge of the learners denotes the understanding of a teacher about his or her students' needs, abilities, and their preferences. Knowledge of educational context provides answers for the questions whom, where, and what the teachers need to teach. Knowledge of educational aims, purposes, and values denotes the awareness of a teacher towards lesson objectives, learning outcomes, performance standards, etc. Success of a teacher is determined when he or she applies the above types of knowledge appropriately in delivering his or her lesson to their students. In addition, teachers need to be good advisors for the students to successfully overcome numerous difficulties in their learning. Also, a teacher has to act as a manager to effectively use the allocated time and the resources in the classroom. Time management, noise management, and managing students fall under this category. Further, a teacher has to be a good facilitator for students' learning. A teacher has to facilitate the learners till they achieve the intended learning outcomes in a particular lesson or unit. Successful teaching is determined on the quality of the service a teacher provides to the students under the above mentioned roles. In addition, the following research article, which was presented in an international research conference, will help you to understand what the students expect from their teachers. Characteristic of good teachers, grade 8 students' perspectives. Abstract. This research paper investigates the characteristics of good teachers according to the perceptions of grade 8 students in Mullaitivu and Bawaniya districts. 100 grade 8 students from various villages of this district were selected using random sampling method for this study. This study was carried out using qualitative and quantitative research methods at the Centers of Special Intensive English Language Teaching Program for 3 months. Through questionnaire, interviews, and discussion, the qualitative validity of this study was proved while the marks obtained by the students in term examinations in the particular teacher's subjects were analyzed qualitatively. The study revealed that ability to explain lessons clearly, teaching subjects humorously, expressing love, gentleness, and kindness, pleasant personality, encouraging students, and being flexible are the chief characteristics of good teachers. And the students hate the teachers, those who scold them frequently, while implementing strict rules and regulation in the class. According to the survey, ability to explain lessons clearly is the most important characteristic of a good teacher. Also, majority of the students feel that teachers should be humorous and they should express their love and gentleness in and outside the class, instead of expressing harshness when interacting with them. It is noted that even though some teachers are strict in the class, the students love them as they can explain lessons clearly. Thus, this study recommends certain qualities that should be developed by the teachers in order to provide child-centered education, as educational philosopher John Dewey pointed out in his theory. Introduction. Traditionally, teachers play a vital role in producing competent students to the world. If the students like a teacher, he or she automatically starts to love the subjects. Then it continuously becomes as his or her favorite subjects. At the same time, if a student does not like one teacher, there's a great risk of hating the subject taught by the teacher too. Thus, teachers directly influence the performance and outcome of the teaching process as well as in the student's life. Even though the required subject knowledge is expected in the first place from the teachers, there are certain other characteristics that lead the teaching process towards successful outcomes. The characteristics of teachers become favorable in many places, while certain characteristics affect students psychologically, and at the end it becomes failure in the whole process. In the rapidly changing world, the expectation to change. If the teachers do not provide what and how the students expect from them, it will be utter failure. While the students like and respect some teachers, certain teachers are hated by the students. This study is based on the question that is, students do not like certain characteristics of teachers so that they lose the interest in their subjects. Thus, this study will identify the favorable and unfavorable characteristics of teachers, and it will recommend certain characteristics that should be adapted by the teachers for the successful outcomes of teaching and learning process. Objectives of the study: to find out the important characteristics of teachers from students' perspectives. The second objective includes to find out the unfavorable characteristics of teachers from students' perspectives. Literature review: a researcher in her research titled Characteristics of Effective English Language Teachers, the Perspective of Bangkok University Students, points out the importance of preparation and being ready for the lesson to be an effective English language teacher in the class. Further, she points out that the students perceive their teachers as effective teachers if they are well prepared only. Further, Axel points out that the students' perspective is a good teacher must have a good teacher-student relationship than the personality and the instruction of the teacher. Another researcher states that students expect the teacher to possess specific characteristics such as friendliness, forgiveness, respect, compassion, fairness, attitude, and comprehension. Discussion and results. The findings reveal that there are certain characteristics expected by the students from the teachers. Their ability to explain lessons clearly, teaching subjects humorously, expressing love, gentleness, and kindness, pleasant personality, encouraging students, and being flexible. 80% of students say that their favorite teachers can explain the lessons in the class very clearly and systematically. As their teachers explain lessons part by part in a systematic way, they say that they could understand the lessons easily, so that they all prefer and respect such teachers in the first place. Also, they point out that if the teachers teach lessons humorously, they listen to the teachers carefully without losing their concentration in the class. Thus, teaching with humor falls in the category of teaching technique. While 20% of the students' first preferable characteristics of the teachers are humor in teaching and expressing love, gentleness, and kindness in and outside the class, 90% of the students mention them in the first place as their most preferable teachers' characters. The students expect that their teachers should express their love, gentleness, and kindness in the following instances: in asking questions, during explaining lessons, during the interaction with the students, inside and outside the classroom, giving comments over the correction, during the marking process of the exercises, when the students raise questions and doubts, and dealing with other fellow students. The students attentively look at their teachers' facial expressions, body language, and the manner of using language and behavior pattern in order to experience the love, affection, gentleness, and kindness of the teachers. If they fail to receive them in the first hand, the readiness for the lesson is lost. Then the students would not receive the condensed knowledge from the teachers, as the students' perception blocks the readiness for the lesson. About 50% of students think that teachers' pleasant personality enables them to like the teacher and the subjects. Another considerable number of students say that they like the teachers, those who continuously encourage them by being flexible in the class. The study revealed that certain characteristics of teachers are not preferred by the students. They are scolding the students frequently in the class, conducting the class always keeping the face seriously, inability to teach lessons in an understandable manner, giving inadequate exercises, and lack of interaction with the students. Even though certain teachers are strict in the class, the students like them, as they can teach the subjects in an understandable manner as the students expect. When analyzing the students' attendance to the class and their performances in the term examinations, it revealed that students regularly attend the classes of their favorite teachers. Also, they do all the homework and maintain the exercise books neatly without failure. In term examinations, they have gained more than 60 out of 100 marks in their favorite teachers' subjects, while they have gained below 50 marks in the subject where they do not like the subject teachers. Thus, teachers' characteristics directly affect the students' attendance and performance. Recommendation: this study recommends certain characteristics that should be developed by the teachers in order to focus child-centered education. All the students expect that teachers should explain lessons clearly in an understandable manner. Further, the students expect love, gentleness, and kindness from the teachers in addition to their subject knowledge. Students also prefer the teachers to conduct classes humorously with required level. Thus, teachers of this Region should give special attention when preparing lesson plans to teaching techniques and the manner of exposing themselves in the class, in addition to developing their subject knowledge for successful teaching and learning. These are the references. Thank you.